So I'm here almost straight down from stage. Olivia Ralston, Director of Platform Relationships at Condé Nast International. Great to have you here. You talked a bit about the platforms and publishers partnerships. As a publisher, what could you say is your relationship in Condé Nast with the different platforms of today?
Well, my role is about establishing and sort of deepening the relationships with the major social platforms that are most important to our business. So those are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, and then others as well. But because we're not a very big team, so we have to focus on the highest priority ones, and those are the highest priority ones for us. But yeah, it's about having a single point of contact for the platforms to be able to access our markets and brands, and for us to be able to get more out of those platforms as well.
Mm-hmm. You have a lot of different, very popular magazines. Like you have Vogue, you have GQ, you have Wired, you have Vanity Fair, you have The New Yorker. Would you say that there are different platforms that are important to different kind of magazines, or is there like one or two platforms that are really the most important?
Yeah, no, yes is the answer, and you're absolutely right that it does depend very much on the brand and the magazine. Most of our brands are lifestyle brands, and they're very visually led. So Instagram lends itself very well. So even though Instagram isn't the biggest platform, in terms of engagement and sort of resonance with our brands and our clients, Instagram is really important. Facebook is important for everyone. It's so dominant, it's everywhere, and so it's significant for all of our brands. But something like Wired, Twitter is a lot more important. Even something like LinkedIn or Medium, those kinds of platforms that are a little more professionally oriented would be more important. In our team, we're focused on Vogue as kind of the first brand that we're trying to sort of build new capabilities around. So for Vogue, Facebook, Instagram, those are the biggest, and then YouTube on the video side.
You talked a bit about instant articles as well. What's your opinion about that right now?
I mentioned in the talk that several of our markets, with several brands within those markets, have experimented with instant articles. They started when it was rolled out to all publishers last year. The results from that have been, generally speaking, pretty neutral to slightly negative. It hasn't been very easy to experiment with it because the data that Facebook have offered isn't really easy to manipulate. There just isn't much of it, and it's not easy to manipulate to evaluate the performance precisely. So that's been a limitation, but we have gotten some sense of the kind of impact, and it just hasn't been very strong. Generally speaking, there have been certain pockets where it has improved, either kind of reach on Facebook or referral traffic to the site, but generally speaking, it just hasn't done very much. So for now, we're sort of it's kind of on hold for us at Condé Nast International, and we're waiting to see if Facebook are going to offer any more kind of features and functionality and more data around it, so we can hopefully get more out of it.
Mm-hmm. You talked also about the how should I say how big Facebook and Google are compared to a lot of the other actors in the business right now. You talked about if you choose not to be on Facebook, somebody else will, and they'll take your traffic, right?
Yeah.
And you also talked about how big Google is compared to a lot of the other publishers and companies. Do you feel powerless meeting them?
I don't. I think generally, the reality is that Facebook and Google and the platforms generally, they are a threat to our business, but every threat or challenge also represents an opportunity. And I think for publishers, we have to look at it as an opportunity, and we have to kind of reorient ourselves and just change the way we do things to kind of protect and build our business. We can't rely on Facebook or expect, any sort of solutions from anyone but ourselves. So no, I don't feel powerless, but the reality is that the landscape is changing, and our kind of business model and revenue streams that we've relied on digitally are probably going to go away.
So you think in the future that Facebook and Google and the big platforms will get more power, or do you think it will like even out? Or
I think that
difficult question, maybe. Yeah.
It's a difficult question. I think inevitably they will lose power. I mean, that's the cycle of things we've seen. Even Google feels threatened by Facebook. Yahoo and AOL came before. There were others before. So there's a constant kind of cycle of these platforms. But I don't think that concept of a kind of a platform that really owns the relationship with the user is not going to go away. So it's going to be there. It just might be different players, and if there are more of them, that will be to our benefit. So because then there's more competition, and it makes it easier to kind of negotiate when there's more more places to go.
What do you think of Gulltaggen in Oslo?
I think it's amazing. I'm really glad to be here. It's all the speakers have been great. It's very just organized and so well thought through and put together. So I think it's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Olivia, for being here.
Thank you.